All right, welcome back to round number 3 here at Modern Mondays in Guardian Games in Portland, Oregon. We were able to nab a match here that was going to their final game. We got 1-1, Mardu Shadow versus Pyro Prison.
Yep. So notably, they also finished their first two games pretty quickly. The Pyro Prison deck, the writing can be on the wall very quickly with that deck, and usually if it isn't, it's not in a good spot. A Chalice deck, an early Blood Moon deck. How do you feel about this matchup?
Oh, I feel like all the red prison decks that are playing Chalice and Blood Moon, they do have to lock your opponent out of the game, but sometimes if your opponent has a discard spell or is able to bust up your lock piece with a Wear Tear or etc., any kind of artifact, enchantment, removal, you might not have a lot of leftovers because you expend a lot of resources to get those lock pieces down early, that you can just get closed out on pretty quickly.
Yep, so Finn gonna cast a turn 1 Blood Moon, like it do. I think this is actually really play draw dependent. Like, if Andrew can Thoughtseize on turn 1 before Finn has the chance to do exactly this, then it looks a lot better for Andrew. But here you're seeing, turn 1 Silent Clearing is actually turn 1 Mountain, which does not cast a Thoughtseize or an IOK. And here's a Dragon's Claw, gonna help Finn gain a life for every red spell cast and just keep him out of the beat up range as best as he can.
So it looks like Andrew does have a Wear Tear, so if we're able to find basic planes, which I guess there's one, I would assume there's one in the deck, we might open up this game. It looks like Finn's leftovers are Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah.
Which it'd be sweet if you could tag both of those with the Wear Tear.
Yeah, so Ensnaring Bridge, Goblin Engineer. I like this. This I have not seen before. Okay. Ensnaring Bridge, extremely good against Shadow. Notably, finding that basic planes for Andrew is going to be really difficult when his fetch lands don't work.
Yeah, you're definitely playing to luck.
Better lucky than good. But we're going to need it. He's got the Wear Tear, you're right. It's available. Oh, look at that. Can I get a one-time? There it is. Okay.
I really want Andrew to hold this and then to have Riley play the
Bam!
Ensnaring Bridge.
I really hope so. He's going to do it. No Entomb off the Goblin Engineer is interesting. We're getting in for one. We just wanted a beat stick. That's all it was.
Are we going to do it? I feel like Riley might.
Come on, he's going to do it.
Oh, gosh.
He's going to do it. Oh, moments before disaster.
And Finn,
hell-bent with no lock.
If you rewatch this, we're not laughing at you, but there is something about if you turn on Blood Moon someone, it's a little bit of catharsis to be able to blow up both of your lock pieces with one card.
Oh yeah, these plays made total sense. There was nothing wrong with what happened here. It was just the intense drama of the situation was a little bit overwhelming, and I have to imagine that feels that way for both of our players, just with incredibly different emotional tones. We're going to see a Ranger Captain Avios. He's going to go get... Okay, we tapped in an interesting way here. We're going to go get a Death Shadow. Oh, he's at way too high life total. Never mind me. We're going to go get Death Shadow. That was...
I wish I could have seen Andrew's face when he drew the basic planes.
Yeah. When I think about the emotions that must have gone through both players when that happened, it's a roller coaster.
And we even have the basic swamp that Andrew found as well in case the Blood Moon gets redeployed that opens up all the colors of the deck.
Yep.
I'll pay a red, sack Dragon's Claw.
Okay, we're sacking Dragon's Claw and we're going to get the bridge. Ooh, Goblin Engineer looking mighty fine right here. Do you have another answer? Finn asks. One card in hand.
Well, we're going to be in a bit of a holding pattern here for a while.
Yeah. You're not wrong, but Andrew's cards are pretty much all live with those basics in play.
And I imagine Andrew brought in more than one shatter effect.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of, that's a shenanigans. No more shenanigans for you. We do not have another artifact to sack to that engineer. Goblin Engineer, notably not the forthcoming Emery, Lady of the Lock, who just says tap, recast your Ensnaring Bridge. That card's fine. Anyway, not in Pirate Prison, obviously, but Just calling that one out there.
Card's insane.
Goblin Engineer, you need something to sack. Emery, just nah.
One of my favorite cards, sideboard cards for Modern, I play a lot of Jeskai colors, but I also played a fair amount of Mardu, played some stuff that is just running the red-white color combinations plus other color. Wear Tear, it's such a versatile sideboard card, and when you 2-for-1 with that, it feels so good.
Yep.
So Finn's artifacts are pretty shut off with the shenanigans in the graveyard here.
Yes, that's a really big problem. Drawn a mountain, not where you want to be.
And you don't really want to use those Ran-Unap ruins to start pinging Andrew, because there's the Death Shadow in hand.
Yep. That is always the hard part about playing against Death Shadow is you don't actually want to do their work for them. But then you're kind of stuck getting beat up by a Ranger Captain. Because, I mean, Andrew right now can just sit here and swing with a 3/3 and not drop his life total until Riley answers it. And that's just free beats.
It's like when your sibling is hitting you and like, hit me back. And you,
no, you refuse. Don't give him what he wants. Karn, the great creator.
Well, Karn's a thing.
Okay.
That's a thing. Seeing actually, I've seen this around that the red prison builds are starting to play around with Karn.
It feels like if you're playing a game where you're locking out your opponent and you're going to go to the mid-late game.
Yeah, it's completely reasonable.
I've even thought about putting it as a sideboard card in control decks because it's, Stony Silence is reasonable against a lot of stuff in Modern, and then just being able to get one win condition out of the board.
Yeah, you don't always have to, Karn Lattice in the same turn. You can Karn get something casted next turn. We're going to get Tormod's Crypt, and we're going to get that shenanigans straight out of here. Unfortunately, Finn in a situation where the Ranger Captain can hit back and take out Karn, leaving him with nothing to sack to the Goblin Engineer. Possible instead to consider upticking Karn here just to make him not dead to the attack, and then next turn downticking for something potentially more relevant because the shenanigans can't do anything this turn. That said, if you do that, you give Andrew a chance to dredge the shenanigans and just hold it up for whatever you got. So actually, this is a difficult one.
It's difficult. I kind of like Finn's line here because your deck is based around artifacts.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Getting rid of shenanigans seems important, but you definitely are in a bit of a tough spot here.
Yeah.
I might even consider chump blocking with the engineer.
I would not. Reason being, any artifact. Well, yeah, any artifact lets you get bridge back, which is never mind. Doesn't matter. Any artifact would let you engineer bridge back, but I guess you don't have that many to draw. Saving Karn lets you downtick for something else.
Yeah, I assume there's another bridge on the board. I could be wrong about that.
That's completely reasonable. Another bridge on the board, you're definitely gonna block the engineer. But here, yeah, let's just take the damage.
Yeah, did you hear what Finn dropped to 14 there?
That. We'll go with that until we hear another one.
Finn can't bring the bridge back until there's another artifact in play to sacrifice, Chad.
Yes. That is the issue at hand.
14, cast a Sculler.
Tide Hollow Sculler as a 2/2. Why not?
Pass the turn.
Uh-oh.
I imagine there are some haymakers in Finn's deck as well.
One or two. That's another Blood Moon. Not everything you want from this spot, but it will be able to slow Andrew's just fair beats down. Finn very much on the back foot here. All right, Andrew. What's the strategy? I like this. Just get in. Do you want to take 5? Go to 11. Gonna take the 5.
You know, a card that I kind of wish was in Modern is Fiery Confluence.
Yeah?
I think it's like pretty fair card, cost 4, but like would be a card that would get you out of pretty tricky situations, but it's not like oppressively good.
All right. Andrew here sacking Ranger Captain of Eos in Finn's upkeep to stop him from casting non-creature spells this turn, just to cement his position, which is not unbeatable in this game, but he's definitely the one in control here.
It's not creature spells, correct?
And so Finn still having a play here. Another Goblin Engineer gets to entomb something if he would like. Still having the same problem of nothing to sack. He's going to choose not to entomb. Just probably raising the odds of drawing an artifact, because really what he wants is that Ensnaring Bridge. Andrew, gonna untap. What are we doing? Honestly, I'm not interested in a big shadow right now, just in case that bridge does show up. It's gonna be hard to push through. Honestly, a couple of 1/2s right now. But he's got the Giver, though. What do you think instead about just... Finn's gonna take it.
Unearth Ranger Captain?
Ooh, Unearthing Ranger Captain. Don't mind if I Mardu.
Yeah, that is why you're playing something like Mardu, is that you get access to this combo, which is really sweet, where you can just sack Ranger Captain, your opponent can't cast spells during that turn, and then Unearth is pretty good value engine.
Yep, and so we've fetched up 2 Death Shadows to hand. So at any point that Finn... I actually really like the way Andrew's playing this, not dropping his own life total and saying, I'm just going to sit here and beat you up. Anytime you want to try to kill me, I'll just drop 2 big bigs, and then you're going to have to deal with that. But just having that squeeze from both sides is, I think, a good way to play this.
I do like how you called them big bigs, because I love how the art on Death Shadow, it's just
He's
a
a big
little
big.
guy.
I mean, that's how I feel when, I'm playing with Urza and I've got a construct and a just pile of artifacts on the board. I'm like, I mean, I could count this, but are you going to block? It's a big.
Oh, we're in chump mode here.
Yeah, it's time to slow the bleeding. Honestly, I'm not against their potentially... Oh, I don't know. Anytime you try to kill the Tide Hollow Skull, you're just going to lose your blocker to the Giver. Well, there's the bridge. Found it. And he's hellbent, so... Giver of Runes. Not good at giving protection from Ensnaring Bridge. Doesn't work. Also, with that Engineer active, anytime he just tries to destroy that Ensnaring Bridge... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's actually a really good answer. You can't. It doesn't work. I was going to say, anytime there could be an abrade effect, you can just sack the bridge for the other bridge. But a sack effect, Angrath's Rampage doing the work. Strictly better than a targeted removal spell here. Let's bring up Angrath's Rampage. It's a modal spell.
Oh, here we come.
Target player sacrifice to 3 possible modes. Target player sacrifices a creature, or an artifact, or a planeswalker. Pick your mode. That was an incredible card to have right in that spot, specifically against Engineer. That lined up very well. Really unfortunate for Finn.
Pass the turn. On your upkeep.
On your upkeep.
The runes real quick.
War of the Spark.
Ranger Captain.
Sack Ranger Captain. Oof. Finn's flooding out bad here.
Give it pro red.
Pro red.
Swing for 2.
Just gonna try to get there. And we got there.